Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. In this video I will give you a quick farming guide for the Chaldea Boys collection, aka White Day 2025 event. I hope you like this shorter format for my guides, on which I settled on in the past months, since it's the only type of format I can afford at the moment, given how busy my schedule is. I'll try my best to cover extensively at least the upcoming lottery, but I can't make promises since once again the timing is very bad for me. As usual, if you find this type of content useful and if you have suggestions to make, please let me know in the comment down below, and of course consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. Just like the previous Valentine event, this Chaldea Boys collection also features a point ladder to climb. As usual, you'll need to reach a certain amount of points in order to unlock the next main quest, and with it better free quest to farm. This time around, however, we don't have an event shop seas that give us points. Instead, all the different gacha seas that boost the drop rate of the event shop currencies will also boost the drop rate for event points, with 5-star seas of course being the most optimal one. At the start of the event you will get one free ticket to redeem one of the sea of your choice, and I think it's a no-brainer to choose the 3 in the black 5-star sea. In fact, in your defense sea are pretty rare, and this one is the best in your defense sea for quick DPS. In the future we will get 2 similar seas, one for Buster and one for Arts, with the same pure attack stat and split buff between color buff and NP damage buff. If you don't have plan to roll in the gacha for this event, for example if you are saving for Draco or Tiamat, then at the very least I advise you to roll in the friend point gacha until you get between 3 or 4 of the 3 stars gacha C. That way you will have at least full point bonus while farming this event, with 5-slot comp or 6-slot comp. Finally, remember that all male servants will have 20% bond bonus in this event, so when choosing your farming comps, remember to focus on those with a lot of male servants. Since this is a 3-week event, if you are farming the level 90++ node, you can definitely bring at least one bond bonus C and still be able to clear the point ladder. Sadly, this event is worse than the previous Valentine one when it comes to bond farming, since of course we don't have the special blessed chocolate that gives 50% bond bonus, but mainly because point drop bonuses are tied to gacha seas, no free event shop seas as we said before. So, depending on your account, you may be unable to bring bond bonus seas without using apples, if you want to reach 3 million points by the end of the event. As always, I will focus on the level 90++ node when it comes to farming comps and strategies. This one also drops eggs at a better drop rate than free quests, so it's a no-brainer to farm this one over the level 90+ node. In fact, aside hunting quests, the next opportunity to farm eggs will be on the next lottery on Christmas. To be precise, they are also featured in the level 90++ raids for the next Guda Guda event, but since the raids are time limited and not everyone can participate, I'm not considering it as a reliable source of eggs. In other words, level 90++ node is really the optimal choice for this event, unless you are starting late. In that case, after clearing the event shop, you may consider dropping down to the level 90 node, since it has the best drop rate for event points, better than the level 90++ node. That way you can rush to the top of the point ladder more easily. Focusing on the level 90++ node, this time around we have quite a peculiar one, with a 600,000 HP mob in the first wave. In the second wave we have a single Saber Naga that hopefully will drop us a lot of eggs, and in the final wave we have Saber Jason accompanied by 2 Berserker Nobu mobs. This is the first level 90++ node, for which we have to face the highest HP enemy in the first wave. Therefore, the two main strategies we can use to farm this event depend on how we plan to deal with the enemy in wave 1. The first way, the standard one, is to kill it normally with a single target damage dealer. For this strategy, you'll want to bring an Art's single target DPS, that way you can loop his NP in both room 2 and room 3. Keep in mind that you'll also need to bring an AoE DPS in order to deal with the Berserker mobs in wave 3. If you are using the standard double Castoria Oberon team, then Oberon will do the job, but as we will see, there are other options. The main obstacle for this strategy is reaching the required damage in wave 1. In fact, unlike previous level 90++ nodes, we can't use Oberon's skill tree in order to burst the enemy down. Similarly, we can't usually get all the damage buffs for our DPS immediately, since for most supports they are tied to NP charge skills, so we need to save some of them in order to loop our NP in wave 2 and wave 3. For these reasons, 6-slotting using this strategy is relatively hard, and therefore most comps will rely on Black Grail in order to deal the required amount of damage. As a consequence, double Castoria is always needed in order to loop from 0 charge. Regarding the Art's single target DPS you can use in this node, you can actually choose it from any class aside Lancer and Alter Ego, as long as it has decent looping potential. That's because if you can deal 600,000 damage to the Berserker in wave 1, you should be able to deal at least 200 neutral damage to the Saber in room 2, even without the Mystic Code buffs that you will use immediately in wave 1. Wave 3 is a bit more strict with the 400,000 HPs of Jason, but if you are bringing Oberon to deal with the Berserker mobs and your main DPS has a Black Grail C, you should reach the damage required without problems. Strategy number 2 revolves around insta-killing the Nobu mob in wave 1. The easiest and most optimal way to do it is to bring Doman together with the new Soya High School Uniform Mystic Code, which can reduce the enemy insta-kill resistance, allowing Doman to always insta-kill it, regardless of RNG. This Mystic Code also synergizes well with Bastard DPS, as well as Miscrane, since it can produce a decent amount of crit stars. However, keep in mind that you will need level 10 Mystic Code in order to guarantee the insta-kill with Doman. So if you have yet to level it up, since it's a relatively new Mystic Code, then your next best choice is to bring Assassin Shiki with a standard order change Mystic Code, given that she can insta-kill the Berserker mob by herself. There are other options like King Hassan or Overcharge 5 Nitro Chris, but Shiki is the easiest one to use, given that she has an MP charge skills and she's free. Of course, Doman is the most optimal choice, given that he doesn't require any help to fire off his MP, and that he can also increase the damage of all the other DPS in the team, especially if they are chaotic evil. After you decide how to insta-kill the Berserker mob in wave 1, you have once again two options in order to deal with wave 2 and wave 3. Option number 1 is to bring an AoE Archer or Berserker DPS with special damage against Jason. This damage dealer will have to deal with both wave 2 and wave 3 by himself. Strong options include Gilgamesh, Tesla, Ibuki Berserker and Tametomo. For this strategy you will probably want to bring starting MP charge Cs as well as Miscrane if you have her, since you will need quite a lot of MP charge if you want to loop your MP, especially if you are not using the order change Mystic Code. Our second option is to let Oberon deal with wave 3, since it has special damage against Jason, bringing a secondary single target DPS that can deal with the Dragon Naga in Wave 2. Notable options are Archer Moriarty that can buff Oberon damage, Kriemhild who has special damage against dragon enemies, and finally Okuni who has special damage against demonic enemies as well as the event bonus damage, meaning that she can deal with the Naga even without class advantage. As you should probably know by now, Oberon eats like a potato, even considering his super effective modifier, so for this strategy to work you'll probably need a maximally unbroken Black Grail C. You can run 6-slot comps with this strategy, but keep in mind that you'll need at least NP5 Oberon, if not level 120 NP5 Oberon. Fortunately for me, I have a few friends with that level of investment for Oberon, but this is definitely not a strategy that every player can use. In this final part of the video, I will give you as usual a ranked list of the best possible farming comps, ordered from best to worst with my usual criteria. You can use them as they are, or you can use them as reference in order to come up with your own personal farming comps. Team number 1 is a frontline only 6-slot comp that uses Doman, Sith and Oberon with the recent Soya High School Uniform Mystic Code that enables the insta-kill strategies we have discussed before. As you can see, the requirements for this particular comp are really high, needing in particular a Sniper Oberon with a maximally unbroken copy of the event Gacha C. Even considering whale friends with that type of investment on Oberon, you will still need at least NP3 Sith with a maximally unbroken event CE in order to reach the required damage in Room 2. This is the level of investment you will need in order to always kill the Naga in Room 2, even with Doman cards after Sith NP. Meanwhile, Oberon will barely kill with NP only in Wave 3. And once again, we are talking about level 120 NP5 Doman with max gold full. As I've said before, you will also need a level 10 Mystic Code in order to guarantee the insta-kill in Room 1. As a final note, this is the first time Sith 60% NP charge skill has become relevant, at least for me. If you want to run a frontline only team, this is the only way to go, at least without RNG. Team number 2 is a 6-slot comp that use Emiya Alter as the primary DPS, dealing with all the enemies aside the Berserker mobs in Wave 3, which will be killed by Oberon. Thanks to his new strengthening and event bonus damage, Emiya Alter has the best single target damage for this node, at least among single target Archer, Berserker or Pretenders, as well as one of the highest looping potential among Art single target DPS. However, in order to kill the Berserker mob in Wave 1 with NP only, you will need at least NP3 Emiya Alter with a level 100 maximally unbroken Gacha CE, as well as level 10 new Plug Suit Mystic Code. There are of course other options with higher damage in Wave 1 since the enemy is a Berserker, but those DPS can't loop from 0 with a Black Grail C, even with double Castoria and Oberon. As a final note, remember to use Oberon's skill tree on himself in Wave 3, since Emiya Alter definitely doesn't need any more damage against Jason. Team number 3 is your best option for a 6-slot comp that relies on insta-killing Wave 1 if you still haven't maxed the Soya High School Uniform Mystic Code. In this comp we are in fact using Shiki in order to insta-kill Room 1, together with double Oberon in order to clear Wave 3 and in order to give our teammates enough NP charge, as well as a single target DPS that will need to clear Wave 2. Archer Moriarty is your best choice here since it can work at NP2 and it can buff Oberon damage in Wave 3, meaning you will need only NP5 Oberon. Yes, I know. The other two notable options with special damage that we've mentioned in the previous part of this video are Kriemhild and Okuni. Both will need NP3 in order to kill in wave 2 without RNG, even in the worst case scenario when you have only Oberon cards, for example his 2 quicks. However, since they don't provide any buffs for Oberon, he will need Grails in order to kill wave 3 with NP only. Team number 4 is the last 6-slot comp you will find in this video, and it's meant for those players that have their own Doman, but don't have a higher NP level for sit, or that can only find an MP5 Oberon at level 90 in their support list. So no level 120, but you will still need a maximum broken event C. If this is the case and you have spent a few Grail on Arash, you can use this 6-slot comp. You will need at least the level of investment showed on the screen, since this is the minimum you will need to reliably kill without RNG. In fact, you will need to use 2 face cards in both wave 2 and wave 3 in order to kill reliably, but at the very least even Doman cards should do the trick. Team number 5 is our best 5-slot comp, and it's simply a variation of the first comp showed in this video, using this time a Black Grail C on Oberon in order to reduce the requirements for his NP levels. In particular, we won't need Grails on Oberon this time around. Unfortunately, even with a level 100 Black Grail C, NP1 Oberon doesn't really make the cut, so you'll need at least NP2 Oberon, but as a saving grace you can work with a level 50 maximally broken Black Grail C. All the other requirements are the same as the first comp in this video. Here, for example, I've showed that with a level 50 maximally broken event C on sit, she's barely able to always kill with NP only in wave 2 without any face card. If you have a maximally broken event C, it shouldn't be so difficult to bring it to level 50. Just one C bomb will do the trick. And as we have discussed in the previous part of this video, it's a very good C to level up. Team number 6 is a 5-slot comp meant for those players without Black Grail C. After insta-killing wave 1 with Doman, we are using an AoE Archer DPS in order to deal with both wave 2 and wave 3. For that purpose, we are using both Oberon and Miss Crane in order to charge our main DPS. As we have discussed in the previous part of this video, when mentioning the AoE DPS with special damage against Jason in wave 3, Gilgamesh is your best option after his recent strengthening, followed closely by Tesla, and finally, quite a bit farther away, we have Tametomo. I've mentioned him since he has anti-low full damage, but given that he lacks an MP upgrade, his damage is quite a bit lower compared to the 2 other options, and I don't really recommend him if you only have him at MP1. The starting NP charge C I recommend on your main DPS is a level 100 Fondant au Chocolat, aka Arjuna C for the anti-divine bonus against the Naga in wave 2. In fact, this is the tight spot for damage, given that in wave 3 you will have a super effective modifier as well as Oberon skill tree. Team number 7 is a 5-slot comp that is a variation of the previous team number 3. By giving Oberon a Black Grail C, we can drastically reduce the NP level required for him, and by bringing Doman with the new Soya High School uniform Mystic Code instead of Assassin Shiki, we can also reduce by 1 the NP level required for the single target DPS that will deal with wave 2. We are once again using Miss Crane to charge and buff Oberon, since you are lacking the order change compared to team number 3, but you will still need at least NP2 Oberon in order to reliably kill wave 3. At the very least you can work with a level 80 Black Grail C, so if you only need 1 extra copy to maximally break it, you can still use this comp. As we have discussed previously, for team number 3, Moriarty is your best option, working at MP1 and giving an extra attack buff to Oberon. Instead, Creamhild and Okuni will need at least MP2, but this time around they don't increase the requirements for Oberon, since you can use the Buster buff from your Mystic Code on Oberon to compensate for their lack of AoE party buff. Team number 8 is a 5-slot comp that is a variation of team number 2. Once again, we are using Black Grail CE to reduce the requirement for our DPS. As we said before, Emiya Alter has the best single target damage among loopers that can work in this node, and with a Max Lilim Broken level 100 Black Grail CE, he is barely able to kill with MP only the Nobu in wave 1, even at MP 1. Unfortunately, if you don't have him at high bond level, you'll probably need NP2 in order to use him in this comp. In fact, he needs his mana loading append skill lowered at level 10 in order to loop, even with double Castoria and Oberon. If you have him at MP1, you'll need bond 10 in order to unlock it. Team number 9 is the 5-slot full Pendragon team. More specifically, since we are using a Black Grail CE to increase the damage, we can now use the best single target looper in the game, that is Archer Artoria, with a low NP level. Similarly to Emiya Alter, if you have her at high NP level, at least NP3 in this case, and you have a Max Lilim Broken level 100 event Gacha CE, you can make this one a 6-slot comp similarly to team number 2. The difference in this version of the comp is that you are not using Oberon this time around. In fact, thanks to Archer Artoria incredible NP refund, we want supports that can buff air damage immediately in wave 1 while boosting her NP gain, instead of supports like Oberon that relies on raw NP charge. Your best option in this case is Morgan, who will guarantee the kill at MP1 for Archer Artoria, followed by Pope Johanna that will let you kill the Nobu in wave 1 with any face card after your MP. Jinako/Ganesha can also work, but you'll need Grails with NP1 Archer Artoria, at least to level 100 in order to kill in wave 1. Furthermore, unlike the other two options we have mentioned, Jinako will need an event Gacha CE in order to kill the Berserker mob in wave 3 with MP only, since air damage is really potato. Team number 10 is a variation of team number 8 for those players that don't have Emiya Alter or that don't have the secondary DPS we have mentioned for Archer Artoria in team number 9. In other words, we are using the standard double Castoria Oberon with Black Grail for your single target DPS. As you can see, Oberon is not the optimal choice for Archer Artoria, since this time you'll need Grails for her at MP1 to bring her at least at level 100, and it's because Oberon can't give her any damage buffs in wave 1. At the very least, thanks to Archer Artoria incredible refund, you can use Oberon skill 2 to charge your Castoria NP, thus making it possible to increase air damage and working with NP1 Archer Artoria, despite the extra grails needed. You can also use other single target arts looper for this comp, for example Vlad, but since their NP refund is always worse than Archer Artoria, you won't be able to waste Oberon charge on Castoria and use her NP immediately on wave 1. Meaning you will need at least NP2 even with a Max Lilim Broken level 100 Black Grail CE. That's all for today, guys. I hope you have found this type of content useful, and if you have, please let me know by leaving a like, a comment and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully I will see you again in the upcoming lottery event if time allows me to make another guide like this. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and good luck with your Tiamat or Draco summons. Bye bye.